I am sitting in front of two of the hottest Volkswagen Golf hatchbacks ever made. This is where your Mark 7 Golf R came from. This is where all of the R's came from. The 2004 R32 and the grandfather, the Golf Rallye. We're talking all-wheel drive, manual transmission, special bumpers, special body. This is where the Golf R came from. As always, thank you to SolarWorks Suspensions for making today's video possible. If you've not heard of SolarWorks, please go check them out. Glenn, the founder of the company, literally owns a Mark II Synchro, so knows all about the suspension for them. And guess what? He also owns an R32, so you know that you'll be in safe hands. Please give Jeremy or Glenn a call over there, and they will definitely take care of your suspension needs. The Golf R, the Mark 6, the Mark 7, these came from these two cars essentially. In fact, I'm going to say definitely. The Mark II Golf, the Rallye, Volkswagen wanted to go racing, so 1988, 1989, they had to produce 5,000 of them to qualify for FIA homologation. They went wide body, they went supercharged, all-wheel drive. That formed the basis for everything to come with an R badge, basically. The R32, 5,000 produced for North America. There was no Mark III R. The closest was the A59. Hey, just for the heck of it, here's a photo of me standing next to the actual A59 in Volkswagen's collection. So we go on to the Mark IV, 2003. It starts in Europe. It's available in 2-door, it's available in 4-door, it's available with a 6-speed manual, it's available with a DSG. 2004, it came to America, only with a 6-speed manual, no DSG, and only 2-door, just like the Rallye Golfs, only 2-door. Let's go take a closer look and we'll nerd out on some stats and figures. Which one you want to start with? Old school, new school? Let's go old. So this is my own personal Golf Rallye, the second that I've owned, and I've imported almost a dozen to the USA for myself and for friends. There's a whole big reason for why they weren't sold in America, but that will be another video for another day. Hey, YouTube, comment below if you want to see that video. It's tragic and heartbreaking, not just because the cars didn't make it, but far, far, far more terrible and awful, but let's make this upbeat. So, the Rallye Golf, 5,000 produced, only available in 5 colors. Red, blue, green, black, and gray. If you see white ones, they are either motorsport chassis or they've been repainted white. There's a lot of specific things on this. That wide body, that is all metal, all steel. The cars were produced with Volkswagen Motorsport, but they were actually made in Belgium. There's a little bit of uncertainty as to which factory there, but yes, late 1980s, all of them were assembled. Other specific things, of course, the Rallye Golf front end, that grille setup that is synonymous. You see it retrofitted to so many other cars. That is one specific thing from this. However, it did also make it to other markets, but things that did not make it onto other cars. The front bumper is specific. Even more specific is those front turn signals. Normally they have an angle on one side of the turn signals, but on a Rallye both sides are vertical. It made them pretty darn expensive. More expensive and just as rare is the front fog lights. Yes, they look like they are normal, big bumper, 16 valve, but they are not. They are Rallye specific. And indeed, my car only has 80,000 miles. It was on display in a dealership when I bought it. It was missing a fog light, and that fog light was close to €1,000 to replace. I do have original turn signals. I have one original fog light, but I don't run them. I chose to switch to the aftermarket VX tuning ones because they are practically identical, but they are replaceable as opposed to unobtainium that a lot of the Rallye Golf parts have become. The engine is a G60. Now you think, oh, the G60 like the Corrado. Well done. 1 point for you. However, the engine isn't the same. The engine is actually smaller than the Corrado version. And if you're asking, why would the special Rallye blah 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 come with a smaller one, it's because of those FIA homologation rules. The FIA rules stated if you have a supercharger or you have a turbocharger, forced induction, you had to have a multiplier. So you could have a 3.5 or whatever equivalent engine size if you didn't have the multiplier. So they had to make the engine about this much smaller to qualify, and that makes the Rallye block specific. There are so many odd things in the Rallyes that are unobtainium. The rear spoiler is always painted, but it was a smooth version, not just a normal textured one sanded smooth or anything. There's just The rear bumpers, so many clips and things are rally specific. The front lip again is rally specific. It really makes them interesting, and as you can probably tell, I enjoy the nerdiness of them, probably above the rarity of it. Inside it did come with the 4-spoke steering wheel, black headliner. Outside it came with the normal tinted Hella GTI style tail lights. There's not too much inside that's really different compared to a normal synchro car. And if you're watching this, go back later and check out our video on the Golf Synchro that we talk about the drivetrain, etc. This drivetrain, all-wheel drive, but it came with a much stronger gearbox and everything else upgraded. So hydraulic clutch, cable shift transmission. If you're gonna go racing, you gotta have the good foundations. The standard seats did come with a normal pleather, leather, black. For some reason, electric mirrors made it into a lot of them. Way more than half in my opinion, and mine does have electric mirrors. I guess it was lighter than the manual ones? I don't know. The original wheels were the 15-inch C-Brings that came on the Corrado. Rally ones were about this much different. They did have a real sunken in look. So when you see them and you're like, on the wheel, the stance isn't very wide or good. Yeah, you're correct. I don't know why they did that either. I'm sure there was a reason. And I do have the original wheels that were upsizing to a 17 by 8-inch size 2-piece. But again, you can go and watch a whole different video that we made, link at the end for that one. I actually, I did just remember one little thing on mine that is not original. The rear headrest and rear deck lid cover. That is a Volkswagen Japan genuine accessory that I found over there in Japan and brought home in a suitcase. On the Golf Rallye, again, so many nerd details. The little G60 badge there, a lot of them were retrofitted with side markers, especially in Britain for their annual safety inspection. They wanted to see a side marker, but that is genuine. One thing that is very, very, very wrong with my own car, the windshield. See this rubber seal? They're not gonna have that. This is the European windshield and the European rubber seal. But what it should have had was the North American Jetta glued in glass. They worked out that the bond-in one added more structural rigidity. So all rallies came with a bond-in window, but in Europe, when you cracked it, you couldn't get one. So they put in this silly rubber seal. It goes to show just how much depth, how much engineering, how much thought they put into making the Golf Rallye the basis for a rally car. We should talk about this very, very briefly. They didn't actually really race it. By the time it came out, well, Rally had moved on. It was meant to be Group A, some of them raced in Group B, and that's a whole other conversation for another day. But the R32 as well, not really raced. Privateers did on the Mark II, but yeah, the heyday of rallying kind of left the little rally golf behind. That's the introduction to my own personal rally. Let's now move over 13 years into the future to the R32, the first car that came with that specific R letter. Well, the R32, available in what? How many colors? 4 colors. Silver, black, blue, red. Everyone makes jokes, red is the fastest, blue was kind of the launch color, the official color, black looks wonderful, silver looks great. This one belongs to Sean Maynard from Volkswagen of America. This is his personal car with 80,000 miles on it that's in the process of a full restoration. Because, just like the Rally Golf, R32s have become collectible. They both dipped down in price, they both became, well, better off parts cars, unfortunately, and now they've kind of come back around. This is a 2004 model, like all US cars. Yeah, they're 16, 17 years old, which is, we're all getting older. 3.2 liter VR6 as opposed to the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder supercharged. In the Rally, the R32 is normally aspirated, but as we all know, that Wookiee noise. Sean's license plate literally reads Wookiee because of the sound that the exhaust makes. This did come with only one type of seats, those Koenigs, the deep bucket seats. So on the Rally, it was an option. These, not an option. Your only option was a cloth center or a leather center. As I mentioned in the intro, Europe did have the DSG automatic transmission, direct shift, double clutch, we're calling that automatic. Yeah, we're gonna go with automatic, and it did have a 4-door version, none of which came to the USA. The all-wheel drive system In the Golf Rallye, it was a synchro system. Now it changed to the Haldex. It has more digital controls, it operates faster, it's funkier. It's also 14 years newer, so comparable in the way that it works, but a lot more opportunity there. And this continued on, that development continued on into the Golf Rs, so that now you have electronic diff. It's just, every generation keeps pushing it. What I'm hoping that you can see from this is the lineage. Look at the Mark 7 Golf GTI, IS20 on an EA 888 engine, that TSI 2-liter. The Golf R has the IS38, a stronger engine with a bigger turbo, making more power, so a special drivetrain for the Golf R. Just like the R32 had a special drivetrain, just like the Golf Rallye did, but still keeping that all-wheel drive and almost always having a manual option. So what's the Golf 8R going to bring? Well, we're still not quite sure. We're waiting for Jos Capito and the wonderful crew over in Warmau, Germany, to unveil to the world. It should have been, well, last month at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. That was when the Golf 8R was scheduled, but COVID came and postponed some stuff. But I can't wait to see it because the lineage, the all-wheel drive, the special body, the special power output, that started back in 1988, 1989 with the little wide-body Mark II Golf. What did not return with the Mark IV was the wide body. The fenders are the same size. Yes, it got bigger bumpers. Yes, it got fancy exhaust. Yes, it got side skirts. Okay, yes, it got the smoked tails like the GTI, which was just the same as the Rallye, but that wide body never returned to a production car. Do I think it will return with the Mark 8? Probably not. Do I wish that it would? Absolutely. One thing that did get quite a bit bigger in the fourth generation was the brakes. The Rallye Golf got, well, Corrado brakes, but this did step up into its own much bigger brake setup. It also went to different front spindles, etc., which the Mark II didn't have. Yes, special bumpers, etc., but not that special underlying different body that was the Rallye only. The next time that you see a Golf R driving on the road, or indeed anything from R GmbH, the Touareg R, the Arteon R, please don't forget where they came from. The Golf Rallye and the Golf R32 Mark IV. Know your roots, respect your elders, give a nod, give a thumbs up to them if you do see them. Otherwise, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Every Monday a new car video, every Thursday a new info video. Please wash your hands, wash your cars, and take care.